sure you're wondering what I am doing up here talking about a weight loss program. But when you see the pictures of where I started and where I am now, you will know exactly why I'm here. There were so many changes emotionally, physically, but there were also medical changes that have been a big blessing to me. The medical changes I've experienced have been really great. My doctor decided to initially lower my blood pressure medicine and then eventually remove it altogether. My total weight loss has been 42 pounds. I have been taking warfarin, blood thinner, for the past 10 years and was able to stop that medication. I was also able to stop taking Lasix for fluid retention several months ago. Each doctor visit has indicated no ankle or leg swelling. There has also been no fluid accumulation around my heart. The fluid accumulation had caused me a lot of breathing stress and feelings of exhaustion several times. I also had an improvement in my heart ejection fraction. Tests previously had showed that my blood outflow pressure was deteriorating to the low range, and the most recent test that I had showed that no deterioration had happened at all in the last 18 months. I also had been slated to start taking metformin for blood sugar. My doctor had decided that I was getting in the diabetic range. I talked her into testing first. 2 months of meter testing showed that all the readings were at or below normal. The blood test showed cholesterol within normal ranges. My heart doctor has been monitoring my heart. I do have a pacemaker, and he's been monitoring a condition where I have leaky heart valves. About a month previously, I had a test that showed my leaky heart valves, which were going to need surgery, had actually slowed. The leakage had slowed to mild, and no surgery was going to be needed. And this was another test that had been continually deteriorating over the previous years. Let me go back and kind of refresh. When I started, I was over 300 pounds. I had been through every weight loss program there was, from measured diets to liquid diets to lap band surgery. Everything failed, nothing worked, or it worked for a little while and it didn't stick. And I was actually pretty darn miserable when I got to that point. But not too long ago, well, a year and a half ago roughly, I went to a meeting of a group that I belong to. And at that meeting was Margot Benge giving some free chair massage. I'd never had a massage in my life. And I thought, oh well, what the heck. I sat in her chair. And from the first minute I sat in her chair, I knew something was different. My body changed. My body started craving things that were good for it. My range of motion changed so much that I could get in and out of my car easily, and it was a struggle before that. In fact, I left the appointment and came back in tears, actually, and she was wondering what happened. But I'm crying because I can get into my car like a normal person. I didn't have to back in and sit down and lift my leg and do things. I just stepped into the car like normal, and it's very strange for me to feel that difference so quickly. And the next session that I had with Margot, I didn't notice anything gigantic going on that day. The next morning I got up and got dressed for work, put on my bras, and my bras were all too big. I'd actually put 2-inch extenders into my bras because they had gotten so tight. And that morning I took out all the 2-inch extenders and have never put them back. In fact, I've dropped another bra size since. But that was an overnight change. So 3 times with Margot, 3 really dramatic changes in my body and in my brain And I knew I had to keep coming. And you'll see from the pictures that I have gone from a size 26, 28 down to a size 18, 20. And that was a relatively short period of time, perhaps 6 months, perhaps less, that I made that drop. I've lost 42 pounds. And again, it's just listening to what my body needs, not listening to what I think I want. You know, a few minutes ago, I talked about my 42-pound weight loss, and I feel like I should readdress that, because every diet that I did in the past, or every exercise program, or every weight loss anything, when I lost 40 pounds, I would lose a clothes size. And this time, it's not been that way. This time, there was a change in my body mass, a change well, my body restructured, essentially. And I could feel, sometimes it would be a difference from the time that I walked in to the session till the time when I left. In fact, I used to test it sometimes. I would bring jeans that were too tight for me, that I would wear to the session, that I couldn't get buttoned, and when I left, the jeans would fit. So it kind of became a game with me, and I loved that game. My range of motion has been the big difference for me. Most days I'm moving like a 40-year-old. I'm 64, by the way. So moving like a 40-year-old is a big advantage for me. I think I'm moving better than I did when I was 40, just because of the difference in how my body behaves. And a silly little thing, my shoe size has changed. I used to wear a size 10. I have gone shopping for shoes in the last couple months and realized that I'm now wearing size 8.5 or 9. I've had to give away my 10s. Oh, good thing, huh? I've had to give away my clothes. I only have 2 things in my closet that I had there a year ago. And so there've been a lot of people that have gotten benefit from this too, because they've got a lot of new clothes. I had bursitis when I first started seeing Margot. I didn't mention it. It was quite painful. It prevented me from going up the stairs at my office. At the end of last year, I was moved to an upstairs office because I was no longer in pain. I no longer had to stop every step. And I just went upstairs like a normal person. Everything that I've done that I see people do every day without effort has been a huge change for me. I need to stress how hard this was for me. Not at all. Here's how hard I worked at making all these changes. Hello, Margot, what time's my appointment next week? Okay, thank you, I'll see you then. That was it. I have not changed my diet other than what my body craves, I listen to now. I have not changed my exercise program. I have not changed anything in my life. It's just that my body wants things different. It functions differently. My body is using up resources that it didn't know how to use before. It's been an amazing change. I just hope that at some point you or somebody you know is able to share in these things.
I want to take a moment and publicly thank Christy for her commitment to this process. She's the one who opted not to diet or exercise, and I believe it was to her benefit. But I am so pleased that she hung in there and put up with me and brought me along. A lot of the early work I did on her taught me how to be better, how to be a better teacher and a better person. So I'm very grateful to you, Christy.
And I thank you so much for how my life has changed.
I would like to also share how the process got its name. As I worked with Christy, it became apparent to me that part of Christy's body was Christy and part of it wasn't. And it was just very clear to me that she is a special soul, that she's always the giver, the lover, the caretaker. And whereas we went a little farther on the journey to get some of that energy on herself, I really felt like at times I was working with an earth angel, hence the name Angel Recovery.
Well,